Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the second part of my school. In part 1, we made the entire school building, including the car park, and all of the rooms inside of it. In this video, we will make everything else, including the library, gym, pool, basketball court, outdoor lunchroom, and we will of course make all of the rest of the paths, walls, fence, trees, you name it, this video we are going to finish it. Fun fact, I am hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know if, where and when you spotted me down below in the comment section. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 11 white concrete blocks on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then extend to the left, also by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Extend backwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then extend left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then extend all the way down to the ground. And then come all the way back up to here and extend left by a further 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And extend down to the ground. Then come all the way back up to the top and extend left by a further 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then this time we are going to extend the last 2 blocks down to the ground, just like this. Then we are going to extend these 2 rows, 1 row backwards, and then we will extend this block this way by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down to the ground. Then back up and extend back a further 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down to the ground. And then extend this block backwards a further 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down to the ground. And then lastly, extend back by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And extend those last 2 blocks down to the ground. Just like this. Next, we are going to extend this corner block all the way across the back of the build until roughly it is in line with where we first started. It doesn't have to be perfect, although I think that that's where it belongs. We can then come all the way to the front of the build, extend this white concrete block backwards by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the way down to the ground. Then we want to dig in the ground backwards, 1, 2, and then place a white concrete. Dig 2 more rows, 1, 2, white concrete. Dig 2, 1, 2, white concrete. Dig 2, white concrete. We can then extend the white concrete all the way back here, and the goal is to extend it up, and that's perfect. That's where we want to be. We can then extend this white concrete all the way forwards, And then we can extend this white concrete across the back of the build and forwards. And we can even extend this corner block down as well. We're just forming a nice solid shape for us to work with. We can do the same here as well. We can extend this white concrete block down to the ground. We're really getting the dimensions of the building sorted now. On the right side of the build, we want to extend these singular rows of white concrete all the way up to the top of the frame. And we can even extend the long row of white concrete all the way up to the top of the frame as well. We then want to add another row of white concrete underneath the top here. And then we are going to place black concrete at the base of the windows. By the way, these are windows. We are going to fill them in with either glass block or glass pane. I'm opting to use glass block, although it really doesn't matter too much on this side. So now that we've done that, we can just fill this area in here using white concrete as well. And then we are going to move towards the back of the build. And we are going to dig 2 rows in the ground here. 1, 2. Place black concrete. Then a white concrete on the end. Dig 2 more rows. 1, 2. Black concrete. White concrete on the end. Dig 2 more rows. Black concrete. White concrete on the end. And we can extend our white concrete all the way upwards. Just like this. And then we are going to place 3 rows of glass on top of our black concrete with a row of white concrete on top. And then we are going to fill the remaining areas in here using glass, just like so. Then this entire back wall can now just be filled in using white concrete. Next, we are going to place an additional layer of white concrete along the inside of the frame on this side of our building. We are then going to dig in between the back pairs of white concrete and connect them together in the ground with a row of black concrete, just like this. We are then going to fill each of these windows in the same way. We will divide them up in the middle by placing a row of 1, 2, 3 polished black stone wall with a white concrete on top, and then black stone wall extending all the way up. Now, to make this a bit easier for ourselves, we can actually extend the white concrete all the way through, and we can join all of these walls together just in the middle, like this. And then we can divide all of the other windows up with polished black stone wall. So just straight up the middle, dividing these in half, polished black stone wall, like so. And then the fun bit, we now get to fill all of these in with glass pane, where it hasn't mattered for the other windows whether we use block or pane. It's preferable to use pane here because it just melds well with the polished black stone wall. the end result of this should look like that. Next, we are going to move on to the front of the build and do pretty much the same thing. We will first of all add this additional layer of white concrete along the inside of the frame. I think they'd actually be a little bit easier as well if we just filled in next to the entrance area like this as well. Just like that. And then we are going to dig in between the back pair of white concretes of the frame of the windows, and we will fill all of these in with black concrete. We will then divide these windows up with a row of 1, 2, 3 polished black stone wall, then a white concrete on top, and 3 more wall extending up. We will do this for each individual window frame. And then it is once again just easier to divide up the whole set of windows with a horizontal row of white concrete, and then we can just fill these in using glass pane. Now we can just take a little look at this, and that seems perfect. So, the entrance area here. We will first of all add a layer of polished black stone wall all the way around the inside of our white concrete frame. Just like this. Then we will place 1, 2, 3 glass pane here, extending up along the inside of the polished black stone wall, and then extend a horizontal row of polished black stone wall all the way across to the right. We will then place 2 more pane extending up, wall, and then naturally we will be left with 2 pane. And then we can extend this wall all the way across, and then we can extend the glass to the right, wall, 2 glass, wall. We can extend those walls down and through to the base of the build. We will then add an additional row of glass pane just here on the right, and then we will fill these windows in using glass pane, and we want to extend all of the glass up, and we just want to connect everything together. This is the end result. Next, we are going to fill the roof of the entrance in using bedrock. If for some reason you don't have bedrock, light grey concrete works as well. Then we are going to add a layer of smooth quartz slabs along the top of our walls. Also, we can remove this additional layer that we have accidentally placed just along the top of these windows, as later on we will be using light grey concrete instead. But now we are going to remove all of the grass inside of the build, of which there is quite a bit. Next, we are going to add the structure for the second floor. So come all the way over to the back right hand corner of the build, and from here place 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 oak planks. Then a smooth quartz stair in front, extend left, and then place 9 white concrete extending left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We want to extend both down and also forwards to join to here. That is perfect. We also want to extend this white concrete down to the ground and then all the way over to the left. We want to join this white concrete all the way to this back wall here, and we can just place a little bit of oak planks just across the top. And we can extend a row of white concrete extending back here as well. And then we actually want to extend this white concrete up, and then there will be a row of oak planks just here extending forwards as well. We remove these 2 blocks and then extend this white concrete up just like so. And then we are just going to place some glass pane all the way along this white concrete here, as this will effectively be kind of like a little balcony, kind of. And then you know what, it's actually just time for us to fill in the entire second floor using oak planks. So I'm just going to start with this small bit here, and then the rest of it. Now that we have made the second floor, it's a good time for us to make the roof. This is simply done by placing a layer of light grey concrete, connecting the top row of white concrete together. So now that we have made the roof, we have something interesting to add to it. We want to first of all come all the way to this position here, and we want to line up on top of the roof, and we just want to extend some white concretes extending inwards. Simultaneously, we want to come to the front of the build, line up with this white concrete, and we want to start extending inwards. You can see that where these two white concrete rows would meet on both the front and the side is here, so we can actually remove all other remaining white concretes. We're going to do two things. We will place a white concrete extending backwards, followed by 3 glass pane, and then 2 more white concrete, 1, 2. And then we will extend this way, and we will place 2 glass, 1 white. 2 glass, 1 white, 2 glass, 1 white. And then extend forwards, 3 glass, 2 white, and then extend across to the middle with 2 glass and then 1 white concrete like this, just joining together in a ring. And we will extend the white concretes up. And this is actually the perfect time just to remove the inside of this as well. We want to be able to look up into this thing. And we can add another row of glass on top of our glass. And then we can place smooth quartz slab all the way along the walls. And then we can fill the top of this in. My personal favourite is a block that I actually don't have on me, which is smooth stone slabs. But equally so, any other slab would work nicely as well. But I just happen to like this one. If we had a bedrock slab, that would actually be perfect. But the end result, as we take a look at it, is this. With the entire outside structure of our library complete, we can now head inside and work on the interior. Starting with this roof area, we are actually going to place a layer of white concrete just extending here from in front of these polished black stone walls. And they will extend in and connect like this. It looks rather clean once it's done. We also have to extend these stairs down to the ground, just like so. And we can fill underneath these in with any block really, but let's just go for light grey concrete, because why not? You could even add some white concrete along the sides of these if you wanted to go for kind of like a... I'm trying to see what block I can just grab. If you wanted to go for kind of like a banister sort of deal, maybe just down to the ground like this, I think that that looks alright. Then we can re-grab this. Something obvious that we need to add lots of, and we should probably do it now, is books. So upstairs, since we're here, I guess, everywhere that we have either a polished black stone wall or a white concrete along the side of the build, we simply want to leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place a row of bookshelves extending all the way over to this position, leaving a gap of 2 away from the glass. So we just keep repeating this over and over and over again. Just rows and rows and rows of bookshelves. And then finally just across this back wall as well. And then we just want to make them 2 rows high. And these are all of the bookshelves on the second floor, and since we are just up here anyway, we want to add a couple of tables over here in this corner. So this is made by leaving a gap of 2 from this window, so 1, 2, and then placing 2 light grey concrete like this, which we extend right and left. Leave a gap of 1 and place 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete, and then another row. And then I think we've got room for another, so a gap and then 1, 2, 3 extending over to the left. And then we can add a bunch of stairs like this, just for seats. And then we can just chuck whatever we like on these tables really, in whatever quantity. But basically just a load of books, maybe some cups, something like this I think looks really good. And then over here in this corner, I think maybe just like a lamp, I think would look good as well, just to add a little bit of colour. And I think that that is very nice. So now that we've made upstairs, we can drop down to the ground floor, which is probably where we should have started, but we first of all want to add a bunch of bookshelves down here as well. It's actually the same method as we used upstairs. We come to this wall here, leave a gap of 2, and then we place a row of bookshelves extending all the way forwards. And we do actually want to line up so that we are just 2 rows away from where the glass would be here. So essentially 2 rows away from this white concrete. And then we can just add rows and rows and rows of these in the exact same quantity. And then we can make these 2 rows high. And now that we have added those, we can just head into here, and we can add another row of bookshelves just in this back corner. We can leave a gap of 1 here in this wall and place 1, 2 light grey concrete. Then here we will place 2 bookshelves with spruce trapdoors flipped around the bookshelves, and a spruce fence gate here with item frames here and bookshelves here. We also want to add just a layer of red carpet just in front of this area to help highlight it a little bit. Anywhere that you like, you can also just add some books in item frames, maybe just along here. This space is going to be a bit more used. As along here, we are going to place a pressure plate here and here, with a flower pot here, and here, lantern here, and here, barrier here, and here, and then we will place a painting in front of these. Same one. And then we can place chairs, so 1 here, 1 here, and then on this desk area here, we actually need a rail, polished blackstone button, and then a painting here, and then a stair here. So I was actually just thinking it might be cool if we could access underneath the stairs here and place some bookshelves both here and here with maybe chests in front. Or maybe you can have like a chest either side, and we can have some item frames, and maybe we can have some like enchanted books, and maybe we could have like a lectern might be a good decoration for next to these so that they can be read. And then we would also need, well, this is optional, but like we could place like a book and quill on these. And I like the idea of there being some like rare books in here, or just something fun. And then I'm thinking that we can just place a lamp kind of like in the middle of this area. And let's just take a look. Let's make sure that, yeah, there we go. That looks really cool. Next, we are going to place a bunch of desks with computers in this room. So to start with, we will leave a gap of 1 from in front of this glass and place a light grey concrete, which we will extend left by 1, and then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 2 more light grey concrete. We then leave gaps of 2, 1, 2, and place rows of light grey concrete, extending all the way forwards to here. In total, we want 2 rows of 4 desks, just like this. And then, on the desks, we will place rails on these left sides, with buttons to the right. We're using polished blackstone buttons for this. And then smooth quartz stairs behind the rails. And then barriers behind the rails as well. And then we can place paintings in front of the barriers. That is a lot of the yellow paintings, but it's no big deal. And then I'm actually not sure if I prefer this or not, but what if we do just replace strictly... I've just removed that barrier. Okay, this would have been smart to do first, but what if we replace strictly the oak planks in this section here? So I've got to be very, very careful now, unfortunately, but just in this kind of little rectangle that we have created. There we go, I think that we've actually done it, so that wasn't too traumatic. And we replace all of this with red wool. I'm not sure if I've actually vocalized that yet. And there we go. I think that that enhances the area a little bit. I think that that looks pretty cool. And then you've always got options of adding paintings and stuff, just not that big paintings, kind of just about the place, just to liven it up. There's loads and loads of like just big walls in the library where you can just chuck a painting and it looks nice. So here, there's even some like, this might be a good excuse for a larger painting. So maybe here, you know what, I knew that was going to happen. I don't know why I didn't. There we go, that's better. So just some nice big paintings just to further like break up these walls a little bit. You could even go for some smaller ones. I think that maybe, yeah, okay, so what I'm looking for here is a 1x2 and then a 1x1 just here. And oh, look at that, they actually match rather nicely. And I think that that looks really nice, and honestly, once you've done that, and with those final details added, we can officially move on to the next part. With the library complete, it is now time for us to work on the gym. To begin, we will come all the way over to this corner of our library, and we will dig to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we will replace all of these blocks with smooth stone. On the end here, we will place 1, 2 red terracotta, like so, which we will extend backwards, and we will also add an additional row of 6 on top of these terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like this. Next, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey concrete extending right of this terracotta. Then we will place a red terracotta on the end, and then 4 more light grey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Red terracotta. 4 more light grey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Red terracotta. 4 more light grey. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 red terracotta, which we will extend 1 row forwards, like this. We will then move around to the front, and we will place right of this block a white concrete, and then leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, white concrete, red terracotta, white concrete, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, white concrete, red terracotta, polished black stone wall, leave a gap of 2, polished black stone wall, red terracotta, white concrete, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, white concrete, red terracotta, white concrete, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, then place a white concrete, 2 red terracotta, extend 1 row forwards, just like this, and then, extending towards the back of the build, we will place, right of this block, a white concrete, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, white concrete, red terracotta, white concrete, gap of 2, white concrete, red terracotta, white concrete, leave a gap of 2, white concrete, red terracotta, white concrete, leave a gap of 2, white concrete, and then 2 red terracotta, which we will extend 1 row forwards just like this. And then, right of this terracotta, we will place 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey concrete, followed by a red terracotta, and then we will keep repeating this, so 4 light grey concrete, red terracotta, extending all the way over to the opposite side. Just like this. Next, we are going to take all of the single terracottas that we've placed, and we are going to extend them 1 row outwards, or 1 row towards us, however you want to think about it really. And once you've done that, we want to extend all of those red terracottas up as high as our first initial corner pillar of the gym, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red terracotta on top of every single block. I wouldn't recommend that you keep counting though, I would just use the other rows to measure the next row. Now that we have raised up all of those red terracottas, we are now going to raise up the left wall and back wall of the gym by extending our light grey concrete all the way up until we are 1 row away from the top of the red terracotta. Now that we have raised up the left wall and the back wall of the gym, let's next focus on the right wall. To begin, we will extend our white concrete all the way up to be as high as the light grey concrete. We will then extend across and down, like this. We will then leave a gap of 2 from the top, 1, 2, and then place a row of white concrete, like this. And then we will remove the grass in the ground and replace those with black concrete. And we want to do this for almost every single remaining empty part of our wall. I'll point out the only one difference that we have, which is on the front of the build. So when you eventually get to this point, we simply want to extend up each one of our polished black stone wall. We will then place a row of white concrete across the top of them and extend this block up, 1, 2, 3, and this one, 1, 2, 3, connect across, and then we just want to place smooth quartz slab like this to create an overhang. And once you've done that, we can just return to making the same window design as we have done before. So now that we're kind of at the end here, we now want to fill in all of the windows with glass pane. So I find it easiest to add in all of the glass on like one level as I'm doing, and then just move up to the next. But it doesn't really matter what method you use to fill in all of these window spaces, as long as it works. Oh, and don't forget above the entrance, that's actually really easy to miss. So, last thing, before we move inside, we are just going to place smooth quartz slab all the way along the top of our walls, like this. Now that we have fully completed our walls, we can head inside of our gym and remove all of the grass block from the floor. Now that we have removed the floor, we can head all the way over onto the right side of our gym, and in front of this position, place 2 oak planks with a white concrete on the end. We then extend the white concrete all the way over to this position. We then want to extend this white concrete all the way to the opposite side of the gym, leaving a gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the wall. We can then extend our white concrete across, and then we can join all the way back on ourselves to create a rectangle, which we want to cut in half, both across the length and the width of it, so it will look like this. I think that that's perfect. And then we can just fill each one of these 4 sections in using cyan concrete. We then want to place an end rod here and here, with cobweb in between, just like so. Then we are just going to fill the empty part of the floor all the way around in using oak planks. And then, when we actually get to here, we want to create a small doorway, just like this, and we're going to replace those blocks with oak planks. And we're just going to stick a double mangrove door here, just like so. And then we can just continue on our way filling in the floor with oak planks. So, now that we have done this, we are going to place a bunch of seating along the back. To make this, we will leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then place 3 oak planks like this. And then a slab here, and then oak stairs extending all the way across, and the goal is to line up with the end here, place a row of planks connecting to the wall, have a slab here. We're basically just making it even on both sides to make it easy. And then we can place oak planks behind this and here as well. And we can just raise up the sides here a little bit and place another row of oak stairs all the way over to this side. And we can even just place a couple of oak fence just like this. That looks perfect. And then here on this wall, starting from here, we will place a row of oak planks that extends all the way to here. This is basically just one row shorter than the width of our court. We will extend the planks 2 rows forwards, just like this, and exchange this for a stair and this for a stair. And then we will just stick a lectern right here, or maybe just right here so that there's a little bit of room. And then we are just going to exchange all of our red terracotta here. So it's only this outer layer, or I suppose inner layer of red terracotta that we want to exchange for light grey concrete, just like this. And this is just so that the walls look a little bit cleaner. Like that. That's perfect. And then, believe it or not, the last thing that we just have to do now, which I think I'd like to do this way, is just seal up the roof using smooth quartz slabs. With that final detail added, we have officially completed the gym. With the gym fully complete, we will now head all the way back over in this direction and begin work on the outdoor swimming pool. So, to position this, we will count in front of this block here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 6th block, place a smooth quartz slab, which we then want to extend this way by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We then want to extend all the way over to the right, and we are looking to line up with where the window ends for the library. So, once you think you have reached that position, start extending this way. Make sure that if we were to keep extending, we would connect to this window. And once you have done that, just extend all the way back over and connect to where you first started. We then have to remove all of the grass from inside of the swimming pool. So, unfortunately, we have to do this a few more times. But first of all, I'm just going to remove those 2 blocks from the corner of the pool, and these 2 blocks as well. Then I'm going to add a row of smooth quartz stairs extending down, and I think that the goal will be to extend down far enough so that we can have 3 sets of stairs like this. And I think that this is a nice benchmark for how deep the pool should be. So the goal will be to remove all of these blocks until we can make the base of the pool here, which is just going to be 1 row lower than the stairs. So however you want to remove all of this is going to be up to you. Whether you want to do it layer by layer, kind of how I'm doing now, or whether you want to use a command, which is how I would like to do this, but unfortunately this is the tutorial, so I'm not going to do it. So this is the depth of the pool, but the base of the pool actually isn't just white concrete, it's mostly light grey. So in this corner, we're going to place 1, 2, 3 light grey concrete extending across, and then a white. And then we'll repeat that. 1, 2, 3, white, 1, 2, 3, white, and then if we just move over to here, 1, 2, 3, just like this. So this is how the base of the pool will look. It's going to have these white stripes that kind of like separate the lanes for the swimmers. And then the actual base of the pool is just going to be light grey. And just before I forget, underneath the stairs, we are also just going to fill these in using smooth quartz. And then let's just go ahead and add all of that light grey now. So now that we have made the base of the pool, we do have to remove the sides of the pool as well, all of this dirt. And we're just going to make it white concrete. So once again, kind of like however you want to do this. And now that we have actually made the pool, we also just have to add some white concrete just behind these steps as well. And then we've just got to fill the pool in with water. I usually use a command for this, so I don't actually know the most efficient way to do this. I'm really hoping this is going to work out. If not, I'm going to feel pretty stupid. You know, that took far longer than it should have, but with some persistence, this is what we should end up with. So now that we have made the pool, we are going to make a spectator stand. To do this, we will leave a gap of 2 from the side of the pool, 1, 2, and then place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oak planks extending backwards. We will then extend all the way back over across, lining up with the opposite side of the pool, and extend forwards 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll leave a gap of 1, and then we'll place a row of oak stairs extending all the way across, leaving a gap here. We will then place a row of oak planks behind this, with a row of oak fence directly on top of it. Then we will place a row of oak planks behind this, and we'll also just add 1 to the back. I believe that there's actually 2, so we might as well do it. So there are 2 rows of oak planks stacked on the back of the stand here. And we can also extend the sides just 1 row forwards also. And we can place a row of oak stairs just all the way across the back like this. And then plank here, slab here, and then there we go. Actually, that's all there is to it. So plank, slab, and there we have our spectator stand. Now that we have completed our pool, we are going to head all the way over to the front of the gym and we will make some picnic benches or lunch tables, however you want to think about it. Okay, so the first table is going to line up with this window. We will dig 1, 2, 3 rows in front of the window and we will place a row of stone in the empty space's place. We then leave a gap of 1 in front of this path and we place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oak planks like this, so 2 rows of 5. We then place an oak stair here, 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 and here, just like this. And we want to make another table, so we'll just leave a gap of 1 from this one, and then we will literally just copy it. It's worth mentioning that it also lines up with the other window as well. And now we have made these 2 tables, we actually want to do the same thing over here as well. So we leave a gap of 1, 2, 3 from in front of this window, and we can just place our stone. We'll leave a gap of 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oak planks. Add another row here, stair here, 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 just like this, and then we can leave a gap of 1, and then we can place 2 rows of 5 oak planks, stairs here, so we have a set of 4 tables in total. Now that we have added tables to the front of the gym, we are going to move around to the side, and the way that we position these is by coming to this block here, digging 2 rows in front, 1, 2, place stone here, leave a gap of 1 and then place an oak stairs, and then leave a gap of 1 to the left, stair, gap of 1 to the right, stair. Place oak planks in front of these and then extend left and right. Add another row of oak planks in front of that and then add stairs like this. We then leave a gap of 3 from this table, so 1, 2, 3, and then we place another row of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oak planks, just like this. Make it 2 rows thick, and then we add the same collection of stairs as we had previously, just like so. Next, we are going to make the basketball court. But first, we are going to dig a row all the way around our tables, leaving a gap of 1 just all the way around them in a rectangular shape, like this, so just 1 row away from the stairs. We then want to add another row around this, and then we can fill all of this in using stone. So now that we have made this rectangular shape, we want to locate these 2 blocks here. They line up with the middle area between these 2 tables. And we want to dig 2 rows inwards and replace these with light blue concrete. We don't need those rows of red. And then we want to dig a row of 8 extending in from the light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then extend left and right. Dig and remove 1, 2, 3 rows here. 1, 2, 3 rows here. 1, 2, 3 rows here. And then 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. And we are going to fill all of this in with white concrete. And we will dig and remove these blocks here and replace them with white concrete. Place an orange concrete here. And then we will dig to the right of this block by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we will dig 2 rows this way. 1, 2. And 2 rows this way. 1, 2. And then right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And same here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Join together at the back. And dig outwards. And join to the ends of these rows. Just like this. And then we can fill all of this in using white concrete. So I've accidentally destroyed another block there, but we are just going to leave it. And then we can dig all the way over to the left. And I've destroyed too many blocks once again. And we can just connect like this. And the end result will look like that, which is perfect. And if we replicate that onto this side, so we dig from the middle, left 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then up by 2. 1, 2. And down by 2. 1, 2. And then we dig to the left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just join these together. And then we dig outwards further. And we join all the way back to this position here. And just fill this in with white concrete. And pretty much all of the other shape that we have. What am I doing? And all of the other area. And we can just join back on ourselves. And that will give us this, which is absolutely perfect. Now we can go ahead and remove all of the grass from inside of this area. AKA the court. As usual, it doesn't really matter how you do this as long as it all gets removed. So now that we've removed all of the grass, I'm just going to add some light blue concrete to the middle. And then everywhere else I'm just going to fill in with oak planks. And once again, doesn't really matter how you fill it in. I think that I'm opting just to fill in those really small bits first. And then I'm just going to kind of like fill it in quarter by quarter. So, once we have filled the entire court in, let's add some hoops. We'll start off by placing 1, 2, 3 polished black stone wall here in the middle of the ends of the court, red concrete here, white concrete on top, build up white concrete left and right, and then stick a web here. Simple as that. Same thing on the opposite side, 1, 2, 3, red concrete, white concrete, extend outwards just like this, and then stick a web right here. Then, last little bit for the court, we are just going to dig and remove 2 entire rows all the way around the outside of the court just like this. And we will replace these blocks with light blue concrete. That is the basketball court complete. Next, we will make the lunchroom. To begin, come all the way over to the corner of the basketball court and dig to the right of the corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and fill all of those blocks in with stone. On the end here, we will place a white concrete, which we will then extend inwards by 2, 1, 2. We then dig 3 rows to the left, 1, 2, 3, replace those blocks with sea lanterns. On the end of this, we place another 3 white concrete, 1, 2, 3. We then dig 5 rows to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we replace these blocks with polished andesite. On the end, we place 3 white concrete, 1, 2, 3. We then dig 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and replace those blocks with sea lanterns. And then on the end here, we place 3 more white concrete, 1, 2, 3. We then want to extend each one of our white concretes up by 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. We can also connect the rows together just across the top, like this. And where we have the rows of sea lanterns, we can actually just add glass on top of these as well to form windows. Next, we are going to extend the walls of this building backwards. So come to either end and extend our white concrete backwards by 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then we can extend all the way across, and we can join all the way to the opposite side of our building. And then we simply have to make these walls as high as the front of the building, so however you want to do that. Next, we are going to remove all of the grass block from inside of our lunchroom. Next, we are going to add some tables. To begin, come all the way to this position and count in front of this block 1, 2, 3. On top of this third block, place an oak stair with 2 oak planks in front of it. Extend the planks to the right by 1, but also extend them to the left by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like this. Place an oak stair on the opposite side of the table, leave a gap of 1, place another stair, gap of 1, place another stair, and do the same thing on the opposite side, like this. We then want to make 3 more tables extending backwards. These are all the same dimensions, and we simply just want to leave a gap of 1 between the chairs of the tables, so like this. And we just repeat it now just 2 more times. So this is what we should have. Now that we have made the tables on the left side of the room, we can go ahead and make the exact same set of tables on the right side. All we have to do is leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can place our tables. Once again, they are the exact same dimensions as each other, so just knowing that there is a 3-row gap should make this very, very simple. I'm just making the tables themselves first, and then I'm just going to add all of the seats to one side of the table. Bzz. And then the opposite side afterwards. That's perfect. So, last little thing you might want to do is, I did consider this. I'm not certain I do like it, but it is an option. I'm adding windows to the back of the build as well. These would be added in the same position as they are in the front, so here, and where's our sea lanterns? So we'd have the same sea lanterns in the ground. And then here as well, so you just leave a gap of 2 from the edge, and the windows are just 3 by 3. Except for this middle part. But for the middle, you could add an arrangement of paintings if you wanted to. So that does not fit, of course, but we could, like, if you leave the middle block, you could have like one here, and then you could go for like just a 1 by 2 here, and the same on the opposite side also. And I don't think that looks too bad. With the lunchroom complete, we are now going to make a wall that extends out of the back corner of the room and then towards the gym, with a pretty fancy archway as well. Right of this white concrete block, we place 12 smooth quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We then extend it that way by 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We then want to add an additional row of smooth quartz on top of this to make the wall 2 rows high. Next, we are going to add an additional row of smooth quartz to the right of this wall, 1, 2, which we then want to extend a further up by 2, 1, 2, and forwards by 2, 1, 2, and then left by 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then in by 2, 1, 2, and then down, just like this. We then place a row of light grey concrete here, with a row of smooth quartz block behind it. We then extend our light grey concrete down to the ground here and here, just like this. We then want to add a couple of blocks of smooth quartz just here on the left and the right side, just extending out a bit like this. And then we are going to use our smooth quartz slab to create kind of a slope, just like so, extending all the way down. So, just here, here, and here, like this. And then we are going to divide this area up. And the way that we are going to do it is by counting. And we can actually place grass block here. We can place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grass block here with a smooth quartz block to the right. And then on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grass block. Smooth quartz here. Then we count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grass block, smooth quartz block, and then 5 more grass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extending across. And we just want to extend the grass 1 row forwards, just like this. And then we extend our quartz up 1, and then we will place a quartz here, slab here, and then we will create kind of like the same slope that we have for the entrance, but it's just a bit smaller. So we extend this up, and then we start creating the slope with these slabs. Just like this. And then I am just going to bone meal these a little bit. just whilst we're here, because otherwise I think that'll be quite liable to forget. We don't have to bone meal too much of this area though. There we go. That looks good. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, those are all of the major parts of this tutorial complete. Now what we have to make is the rest of it. And by rest of it, I mean all of the paths, walls, grass, trees, all of that stuff. All of the chill stuff, really. So, to start with, we are going to extend these stone blocks in front of the lunchroom outwards towards the end of our grid. Just like this. This is just going to be a giant path. Another way into the school. We will also remove and extend all of these grass blocks forwards. We are actually going to remove all of the grass in the immediate vicinity. So all the way to here, and we will remove just next to the lunchroom. This isn't a big deal. You could actually leave this if you wanted to. There's not really a great deal here. It just seemed as though that it should be stone. Oh, and also, the only reason that we have lime terracotta anywhere is for thumbnail purposes. I didn't add lime terracotta in the previous tutorial. I don't think that I've mentioned it at all, but it's just for thumbnail purposes. It doesn't actually serve a real purpose. It shouldn't even be here. Anyway, we remove all of the grass just around here, and we will also just remove in between this kind of like gate as well. And just so that I don't forget, we will also remove just up the side here and behind the gym. And as a matter of fact, because this is quite a small part of this, let's just remove all the way to the end of the gym here. And this wants to extend across and line up. I've went a little bit too far there, unfortunately. And we want to line up with the edge of this gate, just like this. And we can just remove all of that. And then we're going to get this filled in a little bit afterwards as well. Right, so before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's just fill all of this in with stone. I'm going to streamline this for myself by making just a nice big rectangle if I can. So I'm just going to like fill all of the sides of this in from here to here. I don't know about you guys, but I personally just find it easier to fill in like big shapes like this. So now you can see that we've just made just 3 big rectangles, and this one would be even easier if we just fill the little sides in like this as well. But regardless, however you want to do it, this is how I always do things. I always turn things into shapes and then fill those in. We just want to replace all of that empty space with stone. I think that I'd like to fill this little bit in first for some odd reason. Right, so now we have filled all of that path in. It's all starting to come together a little bit more, but we are missing loads of this, of course. So the next bit is going to dig a 2-row wide path just surrounding the basketball court. Just like that. And not only are we going to dig a path 2 rows wide around the basketball court, but we want to do the same with these lunch tables as well. We actually want to leave a gap of 1 from around the table. So what I mean by that is it'll be more apparent when we've done it, but it's actually the same thing that we did with the other set of tables. We just want to have a row of 1 grass that kind of just orbits around the outer part of the tables. Oh, also just to dig all the way up to the windows of the gym too. There we go, that looks good. So let's just take a little look. There we go, so this is the space that we have. And at the end here, we actually want to leave a slightly larger gap. So I'm just going to add another row of grass here. So we want to leave just a slightly larger gap here, just at the end of this table. The reason being is so that we can extend a path all the way over this way, and it can connect to this row of smooth stone. And we can, of course, just remove all of the grass in between here too. And you know what? Let's get filling this in. So let's fill all of this in with stone. Because I think the more actual blocks we have, rather than just the layout of the path, the easier it's just going to be, just for a bit of visualization and just to understand how everything's going to connect together. Because sometimes it's a far greater impact to actually have like the path or whatever it is you're building actually laid out, rather than just a bunch of empty space and an idea. So I believe that is that done, which looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I'm actually considering that on this side, maybe we should have left another row. So if we were to remove this, fill this in with grass, it'd be balanced with the other side, number 1, and this pathway here would extend and connect nicely. I actually think I might have just made an error. That looks way better than what we just had. But we also just want to fill in around the court as well. So now that we have made all of those paths, we are now going to add another row of path from these 2 blocks here. They are going to extend all the way down. And connect to the end of this path, kind of just making a rectangle. And then we are just going to cut the corner off here. So we're just going to make this one big strip of grass. So we're just going to replace all of this with stone. And then we can just happily bone meal all of this. Or you could, if there's something you'd prefer, some sort of plant life or what have you to be there, feel free. But bone meal works rather nicely. So you can see that's all tied together really well now. So the next thing that we've just got to do is just shift over to this position. And we have to extend. It might be easier to do it this way, actually. So now we are going to dig a 2-row wide path around the pool. And I'm just going to include the little step up into these stands as well. And also, I am just going to extend the path here, back, and then just across. And then we can fill all of this in. So if we take a little look at this, that is looking pretty good. We are now just going to add a little bit of hedging in the form of leaves, just in between the pool and the gym area. So we'll extend it down about as far as, shall we go as far as the tables like this? And then, I did actually consider, there are trees here. I did consider that we could actually have like another pathway into the pool. But I don't know. So this is an optional sort of thing. But I like the idea of having two paths into the pool. And it's just very clean, like in terms of layout. This isn't in the original. But I have been thinking about this as I've been building. Like, I think that looks pretty nice. And then we are meant to have trees here. So the trees kind of like go in the middle, like in line with the end of the path. And these are actually meant to be fake trees, so to speak. So the trees are 2 oak wood on top of each other, 2 leaves, and then we just extend the leaves outwards in every direction. And you get these kind of like pleasing, nicely groomed trees, actually. So we'll do that. And if you leave them a gap of 3 away from each other, so I keep grabbing the sapling. 1, 2, 3, wood, 1, 2, 3, wood, 1, 2, 3, wood. 1, 2, 3, wood, 1, 2, 3, wood, 1, 2, 3, wood, and then we kind of come to an end here. If you leave them a gap of 3 away from each other, they shall never meet. They'll always come close, but the trees will not touch. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Kind of sad, really, as well. So close yet so far. With this style of tree, and I use it quite often because it's just such a clean looking tree, I've never really found an efficient way of making them. I almost make them different every time. I don't know why. But anyway, we have a nice set of trees now behind the pool, which is fantastic, and I'm starting to think that now we should move on to this part here. So, library. We are going to extend our smooth stone pathway all the way over here to the main path that kind of just sits in front of the school. So, again, the difference here being that instead of stone, we're using a bit of smooth stone in front of the library. And that is just to have a little bit of a different build material. It just stands out nicely, that's all. It kind of makes sense thematically as well, because the library is like a completely different colour to the actual school as well. And I did originally leave grass from in front of the windows, but I am wondering if they should be smooth stone. I don't know. I might just leave them, because they do look fine as they are. Oh, and once again, I know that it's weird that we have like the lime terracotta surrounding the actual school building. Pretend it's grass. I'll actually change it. I'll actually change it for the intro of this video, so it's going to be kind of weird. Like, I will have retroactively fixed it at the start of the video, and then it'll have came back for the tutorial. But that is looking really, really good. That's kind of like the whole pathway system around the school fixed. You know, I actually can't stand it. I think that we're going to get rid of it now. There we go, that looks a little bit better. So, the very last thing that we have left to do is just the fence that kind of orbits the school. So, I'm going to start off by extending these leaves all the way forwards to this path, and I'm just going to leave a gap of 1, by the way, from the actual edge of the path, and I'll extend these all the way to here, where I will actually hit the corner. And then I'm just going to add some fence, and I think that that is where the leaves will end. I don't think that although, by the way, the fence will extend 1 row inwards, like it will actually go up to the path, but the leaves don't. It's just a small minor difference. But anyway, on the actual like outer part of the grid, we're just going to add all of the fence now. I don't really want any more leaves just at the front of the school. I don't know why, it's just a personal choice. You could easily add them if you wanted to. But at a certain point, they would hit the trees, and then there would be too many leaves. And nobody wants that. So we extend all the way over to this corner, of course, and then forwards, and we now, once we just surpass the pool, we want to add a fence that kind of just sits. It'd actually look nicer in this middle part. So the fence just wants to sit equidistant between the library and the path, just like this. And then we can extend a bit further backwards, and then there's a little bit of a dead zone behind the library, but that's fine. All the way to here. And, yeah, I think that that's it, guys. It feels weird to say that because it's been such a long tutorial, but I think that we have officially built this whole thing. If you have managed to make it this far into the video, all I have to say is well done. This is the single largest build tutorial on the entire channel, and you have managed to make it. Congratulations, I highly doubt too many people will be able to say that. If you're wondering where this build belongs in my city, for now it resides in the AI neighborhood, but now I've made a tutorial for this thing, I guess it actually does belong in the city. But I think that we're just going to have to find a place for this as we refurb the city. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Also, consider becoming a channel member. You will gain access to loyalty badges, some fun emojis, and a monthly download for every single build used in our city. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.